it breaks your spirit down little by little. And I've always wondered why this is the thing. Why people at Amazon are so low spirited. Um, and it's only like a handful of people whose spirits seem to still be intact. And I'm not talking about like personality and mood and stuff, where you can come into work, you're in a good mood and yada yada yada. I'm talking about the actual spirit. You can tell when someone's spirit is low or broken down versus someone who has a nice innocent, not innocent, a nice bright, high spirited, energized, their eyes have life in them type of. I want to put some foil on this. I don't have any foil. It is still on the grocery list. Aura, they have a big aura about them. You can definitely see it in people that just come in, the new people. And I'm not talking about the Gen Z kids. All Gen Z has a low, broken down spirit, and we know that that's because of social media, which we can get into that a little later. But I think the thing with Amazon that I figured out is, hold on, timer, 50 minutes. I'm gonna do 50 minutes. Chicken thighs. But the thing with Amazon, I think, is you're doing something that's tiring with no reward at all. Okay? There's three main things that stood out to me. And the first one that stood out to me within the first year was that the way it's set up is like, I call it reverse dopamine, to where you work hard and the reward for working hard should be you get to take a little breather, but instead they give you more work. And then, since they know you're a hard worker, they start to just give you heavy stuff to do consistently over and over and over again. They don't give you a break. So you start to look around and you see lazier workers having a lot of more energy than you, because they're not doing as much labor as you're doing. They are consistently getting easier assignments. And of course, the manager's excuse for this is, well, I can depend on you, right? So this is also horrible if you are someone who attaches their self-worth to their work ethic, which is what I did. And I had to learn the hard way to stop doing that shit. uh Amazon is such a good environment for shadow work. But the second thing is, you don't get in shape through Amazon. Everyone's still out of shape. Everyone still has a little gut, and everyone is sore for no reason, right? Not no reason, but there's no good reason to be sore, such as when you go to the gym and people like, oh, I got that good sore. Oh, the soreness feels so good, because you know that you worked your muscles, and once you go to sleep and stuff and eat well, you're gonna be stronger next week. But with a warehouse job, Amazon, you're not gonna get stronger next week. You're gonna get weaker. Your joints are gonna break down, because the thing about these jobs is that you will do an activity that's not difficult enough to stimulate your muscle to adapt and get stronger, but it is taxing on your joints. So it's just tiny little damage to your joints, and your muscles just not doing nothing, because your muscles just basically just getting fatigued. And as soon as your muscle gets fatigued, here come your joints. On top of that, your muscles get fatigued. Here comes the muscle spasms, and here comes the injuries, right? If you have muscle spasms, your muscles are definitely going to pull on your joints, your ligaments, your tendons, yada yada, and now you're going to get these injuries and stuff. And they just snowball, because you have to come back the next day, and the next day, and the next day. You don't have enough recovery. So that's the second thing. You have to actually go exercise outside of this job to handle this job, but you're tired as fuck after the job because it's a marathon. It's not a 1 hour to 2 hour workout right quick like you would do in the gym or calisthenics or whatever your thing is, Pilates class, whatever. It's 8 to 10 hours, 8 to 12 sometimes. Some people are doing 12 hours of this consistent, enduring, laborious work that's not heavy enough to stimulate the muscle, but it is taxing enough to fuck up your joints, right? 2 days off, sometimes 1 day off. This week we have MET, which is mandatory overtime. And that means we only have 1 day off. In my opinion, we need 3 days off. And in my opinion, it's based off of recovery time for muscles and joints. Okay, it's not based off of fucking feelings, it's fucking science. The third thing that I think kills the spirit is the money. It's not worth it. The money is not worth it. It's worth it in the beginning, and they set it up in a way where it'll keep you there because they'll give you a raise every year. And the raise feels nice to have, like, oh, finally. But it's kind of a breadcrumby narcissistic relationship where you go a whole year with nothing, no incremental raises, whatever. I think you get a raise every 6 months, but it's tiny, right? It's not enough to make a real difference. It's enough to pay for some of the taxes that you have to pay the state or whatever, right? It's not keeping up with inflation. It's not keeping up with the cost of living. It's just enough for your dopamine to hit, just enough for you to change your mind about switching jobs. And it comes around the time when everybody starts to think about, I can't do this anymore. I got to get out of here. Around peak season, every November, every October, November, they give you a raise. $1. $1 and up, right? Not and up. $1 minimum, not minimum, maximum. They give you a raise. And that keeps people there because they want to experience this extra dollar on their paycheck. So then after that, you get this extra dollar, you get their peak season. And then finally in January, everything calms down on top of you having a raise. So you go from uh, uh, hell, fuck this, I'm about to quit. Here's the raise. Oh, okay, I'll deal with it. And then the hell raises up, but you got that raise. So it's like, okay, this is worth this extra dollar though. And then after that, you're like, no, fuck this, I gotta go. And then after that, it calms all the way down. So now that raise feels like something I get to do less for more. But no, you're not doing less for more because what you're paying for is your body tearing down, your spirit tearing down, and your self-esteem is tearing down because you're not getting rewarded for hard work. You're getting punished for hard work. That's learned helplessness. Learned helplessness alone will kill your self-esteem and kill your confidence. That job is really fucking dangerous, honestly. Get out of there as soon as possible. And I pretend I didn't say that. I'm trying not to give out advice.